Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey hey hey, psycho. Na 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 na, na 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 na. Hey hey hey, psycho. Woo! What's good today, people? It's your boy Coach Ace coming at you with another episode of In the Classroom. Let's get it. It's a Psycho Schematics production. So, this episode is going to get real good. This is really informative. This episode, I'm going to be talking to you about scheme versus scheme. Now, before we delve into the topic heavy, let me give you a little explanation of how I came up with this scheme versus scheme thing. Recently, I wrote a book talking about American football schematics, and in that book, there was a specific chapter that talked about scheme versus scheme, seeing how offensive and defensive schemes would go against each other, see how it could play out. And I used visual art in order to try to explain that. Well, looks like I'm going to be giving you some previews to my book through these videos. So the next few intermediate episodes will be talking about scheme versus scheme. Very informative from an offensive and defensive perspective. So let's get it. Come on. So, the beauty of scheme versus scheme is I'm going to be drawing out offensive and defensive plays and seeing how they go against each other. So, let's get started. So, for scheme versus scheme, I'll start by drawing out the offense first and then the defense, and then we'll go through the plays. Next episode, I'll make sure I have everything prepared. Okay, there you go. Now, for this episode of Scheme versus Scheme, we're going to be talking about zone defense versus West Coast offense. So, pay attention. It's going to be very informative. Pay very close attention to the details. You know what? Get your front row seat, pull it up. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Now, this is in offense is in shotgun, 4 wide receivers, 1 running back. The defense is in dime. So 4 cornerbacks, 1 linebacker, 4 defensive linemen, 2 safeties. So, West Coast offense is predicated on rhythm. Quick passes, getting the defense, get used to those quick passes, and then eventually trying to maybe stretch the field on particular situations. But West Coast offense is about rhythm. Rhythm and high completion percentage passes. So, with this particular play, I say we'll do some curls, 1 slant with the slot receiver, and then 1 go route. And for the defense, this is going to be cover 3. It's a cover 3 zone. So, for the defense, Okay, so I drew out the defense first. And as you can see, the outside corner is going to bail 3 to 5 yards, going to a deep 1/3. The strong safety doesn't have to bail because they're already 10 yards downfield. That is going to drift into a deep coverage towards the center of the field. The free safety is going to drift towards the outside and another deep 1/3 because the starting outside corner on the right side will not be going in a deep coverage. He'll be covering the hook zone intermediate side of the right side of the defense. Now, for the offense. Slot wide receiver will be running a slant route. The other slot wide receiver towards the left side will be running a curl. The wide receiver on the far left will be running a 9 route or a go route with outside leverage. The wide receiver far to the right will also be running, actually I'll make that outside wide receiver to the right run a comeback route. And the running back will simply be blocking. So, as you can see, I've drawn out both the offensive and defensive schemes. So, with this play and the whole purpose of scheme versus scheme, I'm trying to get you a feel for how plays or specific types of plays will play out against specific type of defensive plays. And that's very important for all you future coaches and future players, because the reality is you have to understand how your counterparts are playing. You have to understand the schemes and the techniques while the play is in motion, while the play is actually going, so that you can figure out how to counter it while you are actually playing in the game, because that's very important. So, with this particular play that I drew out, as you can see, the best option for the quarterback to be able to throw it to would probably be the slot wide receiver on the left side. Why do I say that? Because the middle linebacker is drifting towards the middle linebacker's intermediate hook zone is drifting towards the right center mid of the field. See that line? It's drifting towards the right a little bit. Therefore, it's going to be invading that slant because the slant is going towards the middle linebacker's zone. But that flat zone that you see with the slot what you see with the slot cornerback, it is not exactly going to be in the same lane as where the wide receiver will end with his slant, with his hook. Because that hook is going about 7 yards downfield. The corner's flat assignment is only going to be going about 3 to 4 yards downfield. It's very disguised, but it's not. That coverage isn't going as deep. Therefore, the quarterback will have about 3 to 5 yards of space in between this coverage with the slot corner and this coverage within the middle linebacker to be able to shoot that pass right in there. So, based on what I'm seeing as a play caller, this slot wide receiver curl route is the best option based on the coverage. The worst option is the right side wide receiver comeback route. With that coverage that the cornerback is in, the cornerback has a very high probability of returning that for a touchdown and a pick six. And you know what? I absolutely love pick sixes because that's what I'm all about as far as being a defensive coordinator. However, if we're talking from an offensive perspective, that's by far the worst option in this play. So, worst option, this route right here, that's being run by the wide receiver based on this defense. Best option, the hook route run by the left side slot wide receiver. Now, QB, I advise QB to be accurate, have not necessarily a gun of an arm, but strong arm to get it there quickly so that the zone defenders can't crash in there too quickly. Make sure to keep the receiver safe. Make sure you throw it so that they have an option to be able to maneuver, get some extra yards. But yeah, based on what I'm seeing, that's the best option to throw it to. So I'm gonna just draw you little dots so that I can give you a visual of what I think is the best option to throw to in the play. And there you go. Scheme versus scheme. This is a Psychoschematics original. So get used to it, because there's going to be more episodes with this. Au revoir.